Today, we're diving into the world of handheld gaming with an in-depth look at the Asus ROG Ally X and its predecessor, the original ROG Ally. Asus promises that the Ally X solves many of the issues we saw with the original, like better thermals with a larger battery and overall improved performance. The Ally X still features the powerful Ryzen Z1 Extreme CPU and a 7-inch 1080p display, aiming to deliver a top-notch gaming experience on the go. But is it really the upgrade we've been waiting for? So, in this video, I'll cover everything you need to know from hardware tweaks to software improvements, and help you decide if the ROG Ally X is worth the investment. And if you find this video helpful, please help out the channel by giving it a like and subscribing. So, when the original ROG Ally came out, it was one of the best alternatives to the Steam Deck. It boasted a powerful Ryzen Z1 Extreme CPU and native Windows support. But it wasn't without its issues. Many users faced hardware and software problems that kind of overshadowed its potential. Rather than giving us a full 2.0 version, Asus has introduced the ROG Ally X, which seems more like a significant upgrade rather than a completely new model. Let's see what's changed and if it makes a difference. First up, the Ally X builds on the original design with an improved fan system, a larger battery, and better specs overall. It also comes with a $100 higher price tag than the original ROG Ally. With the powerful AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme CPU still at its core, it promises improved thermals and battery life. But this comes at the cost of being slightly larger and heavier. On the other hand, despite its flaws, the original ROG Ally was pretty solid with the same Ryzen Z1 Extreme CPU with a 7-inch IPS display and a massive game library. Its main drawbacks were overheating issues and mediocre battery life. Price-wise, it's more budget-friendly, especially with the standard Ryzen Z1 option available for $500. Now, let's talk about the design. The Ally X introduces some welcome tweaks like a refined D-pad, redesigned joysticks, and better thermals. It also replaces the proprietary XG mobile port with a more versatile USB-C port with Thunderbolt 4 support. It's a bit bulkier due to the larger battery, but that's a trade-off most of us can live with. And it ditches the white color for an all-black look, which might appeal to those who prefer a more discreet device. Despite these changes, both models share many similarities, including compatibility with most accessories, which is a nice touch. The Ally X retains the included dock, Aura Sync lighting, and fingerprint sensor first introduced with the original. They are both comfortable in the hand, despite the minor dimensional changes. But when you consider the overheating issues that were common with the original ROG Ally, there's no denying that the ROG Ally X's design represents a strict upgrade. Moving on to the display, both the Ally X and the original Ally sport a 7-inch IPS touchscreen with 1080p resolution and a 120Hz refresh rate. While some might have hoped for an OLED upgrade, the existing display is still top tier in the handheld gaming market, offering excellent color accuracy and smooth motion. Its glossy display has a 1080p resolution, which gives it a 16:9 aspect ratio. On average, it achieves about 500 nits of brightness. It is able to display 100% of colors within the sRGB range and 75.35% of colors within the Adobe range. And best of all, it has a 120Hz refresh rate and supports AMD FreeSync Premium to offer a variable refresh rate. Performance-wise, the Ally X doesn't bring a night and day difference since it uses the same Ryzen Z1 Extreme processor. However, it does pack more 24GB of RAM compared to the original 16GB of RAM, which helps with smoother gameplay for RAM-intensive titles. The improved airflow also means the CPU can run at a higher TDP, enhancing performance slightly. Plus, the updated Armoury Crate SE 1.5 UI fixes many of the issues users had with the original interface, although this update will eventually come to the original Ally as well. When it comes to battery life, the Ally X shines with its larger 80Wh battery, compared to the original's 40Wh battery. This should theoretically double the gaming time, although Asus hasn't given specific numbers yet. But the Ally X's battery life is a significant improvement for on-the-go gaming. The original Asus ROG Ally can only get 1 or 2 hours of gaming out of a single charge, with the exact amount varying based on how demanding the software is. So, which one should you pick? Given how many issues we encountered while reviewing the ROG Ally, it is no surprise that the ROG Ally X represents an all-around upgrade over the original. Anyone who can stomach the higher budget of the ROG Ally X should definitely buy it over the original, as its upgraded specs, improved thermals, and better battery are well worth the extra expense. That being said, the ROG Ally X's high price tag puts it in a tough spot with consumers. $800 is a lot to spend on a stopgap release, especially when the possibility of an eventual ROG Ally 2 still looms on the horizon. That is why the original Ally remains a viable value purchase for users who still want to break into handheld gaming systems, but don't need the additional RAM or battery life. At $500 for the standard version, it's a solid choice if you don't need the extra RAM or extended battery life.